Oh, I know what's going on. This is that Polymorph deck. So we're about to get combo killed. Yeah. What is up, guys? We are here for the 5th and final match with our Reclaimer list here. I will have some thoughts for the deck list, or rather musings perhaps, we'll see, at the very end of this video. So if you are interested in that, then stick around to the end. Also, if you are unfamiliar with the deck list, as I always say, then check out match 1. I did a full deck tech explaining all of the cards and their usages in this list and how we got to the list and all of that good stuff. I will not be going over that here. Yeah, we are currently 3-1. Let's get this 4-1. Let's go. And I will see you guys in the games. All right, we have our match. Let's get this underway. Get this 4-1 easy like nobody's business. On the play, love it. Play against the Cow, C-A-O. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. We've got a hand. Seems pretty lackluster. We're missing the things that we're looking for, like a Dryad, an Omen, a turn 1 Reclaimer, many different things, an Eladamri's Call. We are on the play. Going down a card doesn't seem a big deal. I just think that this hand doesn't really do enough. We'll mulligan. Here we have a Spring Bloom Druid hand. This is not a card that we've yet cast in the league. But this seems to be good enough. I'll keep it. Now, the question of what to bottom is not an obvious answer here. I'm actually a little inclined to bottom the Primeval Titan, considering we'll still need to find an Omen or Dryad before Titan becomes relevant. And Spring Bloom will help us get a little bit of ramp, especially if we draw Flagstones. Titan's quite a ways down the line, and we can draw another Call or Titan after the fact, or just win with Valakut, the one that we've naturally drawn. And maybe we don't even need the Titan. I don't know, though. Like, do we really need the Scattered Groves? I feel like playing Groves into Call on turn 2 is going to be the line. I'm just going to get rid of the Titan. There's the Groves. Pass back. Again, holding on to fetch land for use with Tireless Tracker or Lotus Cobra if we find that one. We can play turn 2 Cobra, turn 3 fetch, call for Dryad and play it. Steven's tapped pass. Don't know what to make of that at all. Let's just play our basic forest and pass. We're going to call on our opponent's instep here, most likely. Yeah, Stevens is an unusual one. Shocked means it's probably not Grixis Shadow. Basic Mountain. I don't know, like, could this be Storm? I think no matter the case, we're going to want to call for a Reclaimer here. I mean, Reclaimer against Storm lets us fetch up Bajuka Bog. That's the main real reason for calling for a Reclaimer. But Reclaimer also just dies to a Bolt if our opponent's on a really slow, is it Prowess hand or something like that? We could also get Cobra and then slam Cobra, fetch for Spring Bloom Druid and play Druid as well. I don't know, this is just weird. Like, what is my opponent doing? We could also play it safe and just get a Dryad here. Shock and Temple Garden, play Dryad, play Valakut. That doesn't seem too bad. I think Dryad is a little better than Reclaimer here. That said, Dryad plays into a Remand or Mana Leak from our opponent if they're on something controlling, and even a Storm opponent might have Remand. I'm just going to get the Reclaimer. It could be wrong. Yeah, let's just jam it. Alright, it went through. Let's just play out a Valakut here and pass. Not sure what that means. Our opponent's tapping some mana. Bolt. If they do have a Bolt here, that puts me off of them being on Storm. Omen of the Sea. 2 mana flash enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2, then draw. And then they can pay 3 mana and sacrifice the enchantment to scry 2 once again. Definitely a very controlling-oriented card. Makes me think of something like, is it Breach, perhaps? They do have the Bolt. Okay. Didn't see what they do with the scry. They put one on bottom, one on top. We have another call, so we could call for a second Reclaimer and slam it here. That plays into Snap Bolt, or just a second Bolt. We also could be facing against a Blood Moon deck. Maybe it's a good idea to slam the Druid here. It also gets us a land ahead. I think that's going to be my idea here. Yeah, I'm going to play the Druid. I think we should sacrifice the Valakut. See if our opponent is going to remand or mana leak here. Alright, does it resolve? Definitely not. Multiple mountains out of our opponent's mana base. What is going on? Remand, alright. Well, we'll pass it back. It's not like calling for a Reclaimer would have played around remand there. I guess we could have... No, especially with the Valakut in play, there's nothing we could have done. They would have just remanded the call and we couldn't recast it, so... Probably better to jam the Spring Bloom Druid there, in the case they don't have 2-mana interaction. Dwarven Mine... Oh! I know what's going on. This is that Polymorph deck. So we're about to get combo killed. I'm gonna get rid of this token and put an Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, into play. There it is. Yeah. We don't have anything to interact with this. We should be playing a Skyclave Apparition, but that card is like 20 ticks. Yeah, if we had Apparition, we could call for Apparition, play Windswept Heath, fetch for basic planes, and Apparition away the Emrakul. Not like that's much better, because they kill the Apparition, they get a 15/15 token, but, yeah, we are just dead. Cool. Alright. Well, in this matchup, I think we want to be boarding in Paths and Purges, specifically to counter their Polymorphs or creativities. Thrun seems alright here to play through Counter Magic, although a 4-drop is not cheap. Veil of Summer also to play through Counter Magic. Let's see, what's not great here? Cobra and Reclaimer are kind of weird because they get hit by Bolt. Our opponent does have efficient ways to interact. I definitely don't think we need the Spring Bloom Druid in this matchup. We might need the Knight. Tracker's alright, but our opponent is combo killing us after all, so perhaps we should not be grinding with Tracker, but who knows? We can trim one Titan, I think. That's pretty safe. Blast Zone seems unlikely to have an impact here. I suppose we could maybe put it on... No, putting it on 3 doesn't even play around the Blood Moon or anything, since once the Blood Moon comes down, we can't crack the Blast Zone, so I feel pretty safe cutting that one. Do we cut things that are vulnerable to Lightning Bolt? I feel like maybe we do. I think we can keep the Reclaimers, as if it survives even one turn, then we get quite a bit of value out of it. I don't know, though. We can also play around Bolt by playing our Cobra on turn 2 before playing a fetch land or something, and then getting immediate value, so I'm not sure on that one. I don't know. You guys let me know. We gotta cut 6 cards here. I guess we're cutting the Cobras. And... maybe one Tracker. I don't know. Tracker seems like it should be very good against our opponent, but they are comboing us, so we can't just sit here and draw our whole deck, not actually winning the game. Eventually, they'll just creativity us to death, so... And for that reason, I'm gonna cut the Thrun. I don't think that we can afford to tap 4 mana during our own turn and just die. Thrun's not really winning the game here, as we're not really playing much of an attrition game, in all honesty. We have lands, Titan, Purge. We have a Cavern, and our opponent can't Polymorph combo us. Well, we have a Purge, but, I mean, we could have a lot more to do, so I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, this hand has no interaction. Obviously we're keeping. But I guess we put back the Foothills here. Maybe we just put back Titan. Although I think just going turn 3 Dryad, turn 4 Titan is going to be the way. We can also call for Titan. I don't know, whatever. Let's just get rid of a land. Heath, go. I guess we have to play Sanctuary on turn 2 unless we draw an untapped or enter the battlefield tapped land source, which is kind of awkward. If we draw like a basic forest, then we can play Call on their turn 2 in step and still be able to cast Dryad the turn after, so I don't know, maybe bottoming the Titan would have been best here. Well, now we don't feel so bad about playing out the Sanctuary, since we can at least put a Reclaimer into play while we're at it. Getting a basic forest to play around Blood Moon here. As much as we can, I suppose. Pick up that basic forest. Pass it back. See if our opponent has the bolt. If they do, then, like, we don't love it, but it's just what has to happen. Here's the bolt. Or an opt. Oh, they floated a blue. I had false hope for a second. The Reclaimer never survives, does it? Alright. Well, we'll keep working through it. White. I did not expect our opponent to be playing white in their deck. That's very intriguing to me. Alright, let's play out this Dryad. Hold up a hidden Path to Exile here. Unless they have a Remand. Remand's fine here. Gust. I guess we top that one. Pass it back. Next turn we can play Dryad and then hold up Path. Yeah, I can't imagine that this is going to be a good matchup for us. Leaving the flagstones open since we may not have Dryad in play to cast a Path off of a forest. Not trying to get cheeky with it, just trying to not die. Second Gust. We kind of want to draw a land here. We need something in play to enable Valakut triggers or we're just going to lose. That one's kind of awkward. I really don't feel like we're getting anywhere by just jamming Dryad again this upcoming turn. Like, we plan to snap Gust, all kinds of things. Remand, Mana Leak. I don't know. I'm going to bottom it. It could be very wrong, but I'm not replaying this turn over and over again. That's not the game I'm trying to play. Let me know in the comments if you think that that choice is a very incorrect one. We'll see if they go for the creativity here. We do have a path. And we're not hiding it either. It's pretty obvious. Mountain, fetch, mine, get a token, creativity it. Trying to click one as fast as possible so they think we've yielded. They're going for the creativity. Oh, the polymorph. Cool, cool, cool. We'll path there. If we don't draw an untapped land, then I guess we just call for it and play a Reclaimer. There's a land. You know what? Oh, it doesn't enter untapped. That's sad. I was going to say, you know what? We're doing it. We're calling for Dryad, but we're not. I guess we're calling for Reclaimer and playing it. Like, that doesn't seem like it's good enough to win here. If they have just another fetch land and another polymorph effect, then we're still just dead, so... I don't know. I feel like we can't really win even if we do get a Dryad in play, but, I'm just gonna get the Reclaimer. Pass it back. Do something now, not later. Now if we top deck a Dryad, we can play Dryad, hold up Reclaimer activation, and then slam Titan the turn after. Timely. That's fine. Of course, they get tokens for that, but we hope their last two cards are not polymorph effects. They have the bolt for the Reclaimer. Okay. Land. Alright, well, we're slamming Titan, I guess. Into play. See what our opponent's last card is. They do not respond. Okay. So if our opponent polymorphs into Emrakul, I guess our only out is to draw a Dryad or a Call or a Omen and then go to combat and attack. So for that reason, I'm just going to get double Valakut here. Set up for the kill and pass it back. This way, even if they polymorph, we still have one way to win the game. Another mine. Okay. You can have the 1/1s, that's fine. Let's see the polymorph. Seems like they have it. Maybe. Just adding X onto their Indomitable Creativity. I guess they can target several creatures. Is that how it works? I don't actually know what the card Indomitable Creativity actually does. This kind of feels like playing against a twin deck. A little bit. Let's see what they have. Land for turn. They have 1 card left. They're obviously casting some kind of polymorph here. Let's top deck Dryad or Call or Omen. That's what we want. If we do that, then we win this game. So. Oh, or they could have a Platinum Empyrean. I guess we can just kill that with... Oh, they targeted our Titan and gave us a Dryad. What is going on? Okay. I guess we want a Titan off the top then. Veil of Summer is... That's not it. That's not it. That's not what we needed. How many things do we have to... Are we just dead? We sacrifice 6? 1, 2... Nah, there's no way. We just lose the game because of this Veil of Summer. Let's show our opponent what is up. And concede the game. On top, we had... Oh, 1 second. I don't care about all that stuff. I want to see the match. Where's the match? Return to game. There we go. Draw a card. Ghost Quarter on top. Let's see. So if we played Ghost Quarter, that would be 12. Ghost Quarter, our flagstones get 2 more lands. 1 from the Ghost Quarter, 1 from the flagstones. Send 3 of the triggers at the Empyrean and then 1 trigger at them. I think Ghost Quarter would have been 1 Valakut trigger short. So, anyways, very close. And by very close, I mean our opponent combo killed us, and there's not much we could do about it, so I guess not that close at all. Hey, at least we got to path 1 of their creatures. Who knows? Maybe we could have won that game. Anyways, we end up 3-2 with this list. And like I said, I very much like Reclaimer. One thing that you may notice, however, is that this list is very much lacking in early plays. Cobra's alright. I think Cobra does a lot of powerful things, especially when you can get it with a live Reclaimer, one that has not just eaten a removal spell, and then you activate Reclaimer, get your mana back from Cobra, and still do other stuff. That always works fantastically. But then again, if you have a Cobra and a Reclaimer in play and your opponent's not doing anything about it, you are probably already winning that game anyways. So, I like the concept of Cobra, but I'm not sure that the performance of Cobra is there, in all honesty. Hate to say it. There's another card that we could play that would put us in a similar situation against lightning bolt effects, but would actually enable our plan a bit better. And I've seen F. Paulus playing some of this particular card in his Reclaimer lists that look pretty much nothing like this, but I guess a little similar. And that card is Noble Hierarch. Or I suppose you could also play Birds of Paradise. I have not done any real contemplation on which of the two would be better. I'm thinking Hierarch does basically the same thing as Birds, but it doesn't have flying like that matters at all. However, it can also buff one of our attackers for an additional output of damage. Lets our Titan attack through opposing Titans, for example, or I don't know. I think that the Exalted could be relevant, but we could try Birds as well. But what this does is it enables a turn 2 3-drop, which I talk about very frequently when I am playing Amulet, and I think that the same idea applies here. Playing turn 1 Noble, turn 2 Dryad is exactly where you want to be in a deck that's trying to achieve Valakut triggers. And so, for that reason, I think that perhaps this effect might be a little stronger than Cobra. The fact that both Cobra and Noble Hierarch are poor late game top decks means that the change is not that dramatic. However, being able to play a turn 2 3-drop seems like it should be a pretty big change. So like I said, playing either Nobles or Birds seems like it could be a good choice instead of the Cobras. I'm not sold that the Springbloom Druid is worth it. I know that previous Reclaimer lists did in fact play Springbloom Druid as a way to sacrifice flagstones if you didn't have a Reclaimer activation, but I just not super impressed by this. We were always sideboarding it out, and that's actually not a bad thing necessarily, giving us a slot to work with from the main while it still has some amount of utility, but I'm not sure that Springbloom is where we want to be. I guess we could turn 3 Springbloom. Gosh, it's also hard to say, which is one of the reasons to cut it from the deck, but we could turn 3 Druid, sacrificing flagstones, get a land from flagstones and 2 basics, playing around Blood Moon, going up to 5 lands, setting up for a turn 4 Titan, just off of the back of Springbloom Druid. Don't Don't know how good that is, though. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Is Spring Bloom worth it or not? I think I'm interested in cutting it, possibly for another copy of Prismatic Omen, like this. I actually found that Omen was alright. I don't think it's a card that you want too many, quantity-wise, because it doesn't actually advance our game plan that much at all. It just enables Valakut, but that is what our deck is trying to do, so it's good for what it does, but, I mean, slamming this on turn 2 doesn't feel that great. You feel like you're just letting your opponent, you know, get to a point where they can overrun you, so maybe Omen's a little slow. It's definitely not as good as Dryad, I would say, but I could see a third Omen. That was one of the suggestions. And all honesty, I'm not super in love with it either. Like I said, I think that the thing that this deck is currently missing is early plays. So I could see some additional 1-drops. I could see something like Aether Vial even, as we do have a lot of powerful 3-drops. I don't know. I tried Arboreal Grazer, and I didn't really like it. It does enable a turn 2 Dryad, however, so maybe it's worth further exploring, but let me know what you think. And yeah, I don't have much else to say. If you guys have something to say, drop it in the comments below. Let me know what builds of Reclaimer you guys have been successful with. And yeah, I will see you guys for the next league. This is Redface Menace, signing off.